Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Southern California. And in a very unusual week, I am making 2 cards in 1 week. And the reason I'm doing it is because this heart set that I'm using, which is called Heart Shaped, is going to be gone after Friday. So the end of celebration is Friday, this coming Friday, February 28th. And so I thought I better get this card in here before celebration is over. I know a lot of you already have this heart, but perhaps some of you don't. So I'm going to show you how to make this card. And then I have 2 or 3 more cards that I'm going to show you made out of this. And if you go on Pinterest, you're going to see a lot of cards that use this set. So the set itself has some really great greetings in it. My thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. I love that. In fact, I used that when I made this. The pop-out card, my thoughts of you are all hearts. So that's, I don't know, it's just a great greeting to use. Just because I care, my heart loves your heart. Hello and thank you. And then for the dies, so tonight I cut out, or today, I cut out 3 of the hearts. And by the way, today is Wednesday, February 26th, 2025. So I cut out 3 of the hearts, and then you can see that there's a little white flower in the center, and that's what I used to cut out the flower. And then I will tell you that a friend of mine on the East Coast, Joyce, sent me a picture of a card that one of our artisan artists had made and posted on Pinterest. His name is Jay Soriano. So she sent me his picture. His picture is a little bit different. So he has a heart at the bottom too. No stem, a heart at the bottom. And then he had no embossing on the cardstock, but no paper embossing, but he actually did embossing by putting the tip of the heart on each corner. And his card was much fancier. And I thought, ooh, I need a more down-to-earth card. So I sent a picture to my friend Carol, and Carol says, it doesn't look like a shamrock, it needs a stem. And I thought, oh my word, it needs a stem. Okay. Oh, I didn't show you the inside. Well, I'm going to show you the inside in a minute. Okay, so didn't have a stem. So we started trying to figure out, what set do I have that I could use for a stem, and we just couldn't find anything. I decided then, okay, I'm going to look through my punches. And I found a punch that I actually have not used yet. It's called the curved label punch. It is current, and it's the type of punch that you use when you put something on a penny and then it rolls to the right and it rolls back to the left, but I've never made anything with it yet. But I thought, I think this might be perfect to, I could cut it down a little bit. So if you look, let's punch one out so I can get this out of my way. So I'll do this first. Okay, now we'll put that out of the way. So here's my stem, but you can see that I definitely cut it down. Okay, all right, so that's where I got the stem. And maybe you have something else that will work. Or, I have heard people that use a circle punch and they can make a stem. I tried that and I was not successful tonight, so I didn't do that. And then on the inside, okay, so then I'm talking to my friend Joyce back on the East Coast, and I said, hey, you know what? I have Teeny Tiny Wishes, which is a very, very old set, but it has Happy St. Patrick's Day in it. And she said, oh yeah, I guess that would work. But she said, hey, wait a minute. What about, and then she has this Lucky Clover, which I do too. And look at this. Isn't this, oh, this is so much prettier because it's bigger and bolder. So Happy St. Patrick's Day, and then this stamp is here, and then I just put a couple of little rhinestones in there. Okay, then the cardstock for the inside, the green is 4 3/4 square and the white is 4 1/2 square. So I'm just going to put all this out and I'm going to let you take a picture. And so here's the, okay, and the Celebrate, I forgot to say this, comes from Unbounded Love. And then I did say the St. Patrick's Day comes from Lucky Clover. But you may have, you could say Celebrate, and you could say, hope your day is a happy one, because if you do this, people are going to know it's St. Patrick's Day. So you may have to get a little creative for your inside saying, but for the front, the Unbounded Love is perfect, I think, to celebrate. So if you want to, go ahead and take a picture of that. The main card that I'm getting ready to cut is going to be 10 inches by 5, and I'm going to score it at 5. And so then the layer that's going on top is going to be 4 3/4. So I used the dies, and by the way, when I used the heart die, just to be on the safe side, I took it, and a lot of you, okay, let me move this for a second, who follow me know that I love to put wax paper on dies because it makes, you just wad it up and rub it around like this on the die, and it just puts a little wax on it and it just pops out. And I may not have even needed it, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna say the cardstock popped out. So I'm very happy that I used it. Okay, so now, so I cut out 3 hearts and then the little center, and then I think we are ready to go. So if you have a picture, I'm going to get out my cutter. I'm going to move this up a little bit, and I'm going to cut a piece of, this is just, I'm using regular white cardstock, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm putting a second layer on top, so it really doesn't need to be any thicker. So I'm going to cut 5 inches. This will be nice scrap. And then I only need, oops, I'm going to have to pull this out. I only need it to be 10 inches. So let's go out to 10 inches because this is going to be a 5-inch square card. Okay, so we'll just get rid of a little bit, and that little piece will be great for a greeting at some point. Okay, so we can put the cutter away. Then I'm just going to score this, and we're going to score this 10 by 5 at 5. So that's going to mean we're going to end up with a 5-inch square. Okay, so let's fold it. And when I fold it, I'm going to be really careful that I get it folded nicely. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is run this layer, which is 4 3/4, through. You know what I discovered? You can stamp this Celebrate on here before or after. And I'm going to do it after, and the reason I'm going to do it after is because I'll have everything placed. Most of the time, you have to stamp on cardstock before you send it through the embossing folder, but this time it doesn't really matter, and I'm very happy about that. Okay, so I'm going to go run this through, so the 4 3/4 inch layer, I'm going to run that through. And the interesting thing here is I'm going to have to do it twice because the embossing folder isn't wide enough to take care of this wide piece of cardstock. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've run it through the first time. I didn't even do it straight. Are you kidding me? Okay, all right, so here we go. So now I have a little piece that's not embossed. So I'm going to run it through again. So there is going to be a little line here. But you know, okay, so when you look at the card I finished, if you look really hard, you see the line, but if you're not looking for the line, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I tend to be more toward the perfectionistic end, and it's not bothering me. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to run this through a second time. Trust me, I wish it could be absolutely perfect and that the embossing folder was wide enough to do it, but it isn't. So that's the way it is. Okay, so now the front layer, 4 3/4. So what I'm going to do is, I guess I could go ahead and put this onto the card. There's no reason that I can't. And I found some more dados, so I'm going to go ahead. Hey, I already have the Celebrate on there, but that's okay. I'm going to use the other side. I found some more dados, so I have to use this up. Okay, so let's put this on here like this. I'm going to use this side. Okay, so we're going to put that right in the center. Okay, now we want to position our hearts, and then we're going to cut our stem. Okay, so all right, you little guys. All right, so what I have been using is I've been using these the dots adhesive Tombow. I think you could get it at Michael's. But anyway, either the Dotto or those are really easy to use on these hearts. Okay, so here's the first heart. I'm just gonna position it where I think I want it. So we want to put it in the middle, and we don't want to tweak it. We'd really like for it to be, looks a little tweaked. Let's see, does that look? No, it looks a little tweaked. Okay, we don't want you tweaked. We want you just like a pretty little shaped heart. Okay, is that, let me just put these two on here before I press it down very seriously and see if that's gonna work. Yeah, I think it's gonna, I think the position's gonna be okay. Oh, it probably could be, oh, it could be just a tiny bit to the left. So let's just move it a tiny bit to the left. Now it's up too high. Okay, so this part's a little fiddly, getting this heart on. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the other two hearts on. I'm just not going to press it down much at the bottom yet, because I've got to, whoops, need a little bit more adhesive up here. I want to be able to lift up that little part. Now they can kind of overtwine a little bit. It's kind of cute. Okay, I'm gonna have to lift this part up. Put on, oops, don't break this, Sandy. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, so putting adhesive. Okay, and then just kind of lightly laying this in place. Trying to get it to match the other side. Yeah, the hearts are kind of stretchy, and so you want to make sure you're getting them. Okay, is that looking pretty good? Okay, now get some scissors, and okay, you can see that I have it, it's supposed to be a little bit wider at the end, and then we're just going to, yeah, you know, I'm not much at doing things by hand like this. However, I was hoping, okay, now actually that is pretty good. Oh my goodness, that's really good. Okay, so here we go. And then I'm going to take my Take-A-Pick and just lift this up a little bit. I haven't pressed it down too seriously yet. And if you wanted to, if you needed to, you could even cut off the tip a little bit if you wanted to. But I think that's a, oops, get back over there. Okay. I actually think that's okay. Okay, so now we can press it down. And I'm going to add, okay, there we go. All right, so now, gotta find my green pad and my stamp. I'm gonna move this just for the moment. Okay, so here's my, let's see, what do I want? I want Celebrate. So Celebrate in Garden Green, and it's gonna go right here. Okay, it just amazes me that you can stamp on something that's been embossed and it looks good. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna need that green again, but not for the moment. So just because I know myself, I'm gonna close that. Okay, so main card. I can try to kind of keep these out here a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my center flower, which also came out of the heart set. And you know, instead of putting just regular glue on that, I'm going to put a couple of dots because there's a little bit of thickness right there. And I think that this will stay on. It seems to be staying on much better with glue dots. There you go. Okay, then I'm going to grab, I think I've covered it up. I'm going to grab some rhinestones. I'm going to take a medium rhinestone with my Take-A-Pick and put a medium rhinestone right there. Okay, people, what do you think? That's pretty cute, right? Yahoo! All right, so let's work on the inside. Okay, so now, first I'm going to put the green in, and remember the green. Let's see, where did I put that? Okay, 4 3/4 square. And you know, you don't have to do this, but I thought there's not a great preponderance of green on the front. I mean, there is green, but I thought it would be really pretty to have a little bit of a wow when you open this up and have some more green. So that's why I decided to line this card. I don't always line my cards, but this one I thought deserved to be lined. So this is 4 1/2 inches square. Put that like there. Okay, back comes my pad, and I'm going to put Happy St. Patrick's Day, and remember, this is from Lucky Clover. Okay, so here we go. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And it's even straight. Isn't that amazing? It was on there straight. I just love that. Okay, now this is another stamp out of that same Lucky Clover, and I'm just simply going to stamp it below. I'm going to stamp it above, like that. And then I'm going to bring back some rhinestones. I just want to add a little bit of sparkle inside. So we're going to add 3. And we'll put one there. And we'll put one here. And I think we are finished. So let's take a look at it. Celebrate Happy St. Patrick's Day. Isn't that fun? All right, so now let me show you a couple of other cards that are made with this. So this is a Valentine I got from my friend Carol Wheeler. She stamped, okay, there is a stamp that goes with this. So she stamped the stamp in green and then put the green wreath over it. And then this little piece right here is from that set. And then the flowers, of course, are from the set. And what would we do without the scallop contour die? Yes, I'm still sad that that is gone. But isn't that pretty? So she used it in that. And then, of course, this comes in that set too. My thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. Love that. Okay, now here's a card I made using the Floral Delight paper. I stamped the wreath. If you can see, I stamped it in yellow and green and then added the green wreath. The thank you is also from this set, and just made a panel of the Floral Delight papers. You can make it any length you want to make it. I just thought it'd be pretty with a little panel on top like that. Okay, so there's a second card made with it. Let's see if I can do this. And then this one, I would do it differently if I made it again. Originally, when I made this card, I didn't put the stamp behind it. I just had the plain gold hearts. And if I did it again, I would just use the plain gold hearts. I don't particularly love the stamping behind it. The Happy Anniversary is from that Teeny Tiny Wishes set that literally retired probably 20 years ago. I don't know. And then the scallop contour die. What did I put inside? Oh, so happy to celebrate you. I actually embossed this. This is from Layering Leaves, which is current. And so these are just some of the ideas. And if you go on Pinterest, oh my word, or go on YouTube, you'll see a lot of ideas made with this heart. Let me just show you one more time. So $120 for celebration, and you can get this heart bundle. So all the stamps and the dies. So thank you so much for joining me. I will look forward to having you next time. And just remember, you have through Friday if you want to try to order this particular set. $120 order. Okie doke. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.